6 really brings it home. Every single one of these were victims of October 7th. Many of them, look at the ages of them. Look, raped, pillaged and murdered by jihadists, by a government that our government, the British government, just recognised. They just recognised the Palestinian state and rewarded them for massacring and raping their way through these communities.
Avi Yemini for TommyInIsrael.com, following and reporting and showing you exactly what Tommy Robinson is really up to while here in Israel. And the first stop, Dizengoff Square. So just quickly, your reaction to first seeing. This is your first, we've been 10 minutes in Tel Aviv. This is the first place you've seen. What's your reaction to seeing?
It's the sheer numbers. Because you hear the numbers, don't you? But when you see that and you see an individual face, and you think about an individual family, and you think about the individual children or the mum and dad, and you see the scale of that, and then you know the size of Israel, you know that every single person must have known someone that was directly affected as a family, as a community, by this attack. And then you see so many, like, as you walk around, you see the elderly, you see the young, the beautiful young women, all of them, they're not out fighting the war. None of these people, look. So you see that, and it just brings it home. And then, do you know what, then it can bring it home and you can look at it, and then it can frustrate you, it can anger you and upset you, but it can anger you that the country, my government, rewarded this.
Yeah.
They rewarded this. The attack on this, they've always wanted recognition as a terrorist state, or as a state, and they got it through this. They got it through this, by weak, pathetic, cowardly leadership in the West. I don't know if it matters at Britain or France, because they're irrelevant now in the world stage at the minute. I don't know if it matters if they recognise.
Why does it matter to you though? Why does it matter to you?
Because I'm British. I'm British, that's my government.
Yeah, so but why does it matter to you? It doesn't affect you that Palestine's a state. Why do you care?
It does affect me as Palestine state. I understand Hamas. I understand jihad. I understand the mindset. And then it also, I've had to watch in my capital city as our capital city streets have been taken over by supporters of this attack. And whilst they took over the capital city as supporters of this attack, the police and the government stood by and attacked anyone who tried to stop them or spoke out against them. So I understand that the jihad that surrounds this nation is the same jihad that's in my hometown. So I get it. And I also understand, I've come here before. I come here in 2016 and made some great friends. Do you know Tao? Kay Wilson, which now she goes by a Jewish name. They've released her murderer. They've released a man who murdered her friend. I've just found that. So again,
and that butcher, and she was
butchered 13 times with a machete. Her friend was murdered in front of her, and the terrorists. And I see all these celebration videos being put up online. This man was held for 20 years. Now this man set off a bomb and killed 7 kids. The comparison is ridiculous. These are
people
jihadists
partying having a day out. To jihadists.
To jihadists. Jihadists have been released. Thousands of them. Thousands of them. And Israel's in a total cornered situation. Totally cornered. Because they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. And that's how it's been. And what they need at a time like that is for leadership from other nations who share the same values as Israel. What are the values of Israel? Freedom, democracy, liberty, equality. They're the freedoms of Israel. What are the freedoms of bloody Hamas? They have none. What are the freedoms of any of the Islamic nations that surround this country? They have none. They have none that we share. None that we share. Yet our governments and politicians, through weakness and cowardice and appeasement, because now we have growing the same mindset that orchestrated and wanted this, is now in the streets of all Western nations. It's now in there. It's through the education system, the hatred, the anti-Jew mindset that's being promoted. But for me to come here, I come here, we just had millions on the streets of our capital city. That's the silent majority in Great Britain. The vocal left and the vocal alliance of the left and the Islamists, they've been allowed to be vocal for so long. So they've been given the platform, and it's their voice has been the one that's mattered. You saw just recently on the 13th of September, we brought millions out on the streets. That's the millions who don't hate Israel, who don't hate Jews, who do not recognise a Palestinian state. And thankfully now the British public are finding their voice. So I'm happy to come here, but I think seeing all these pictures and seeing all these images and knowing that each one of these is a representation of a whole family. It's not just that he was murdered, it's that his children, his grandchildren, his entire family. It's devastating to look at, isn't it?
Right, it's confronting though.
Look at it. Think of how many families are affected by that. Think of it, that then you can see the scale of, you know, everyone knows everyone, and this is not a big country.
You'll see that when you talk to people, everyone knows somebody
Somebody who was killed or murdered.
on that specific day, and certainly since the war as well. Because what you got to remember is, like, people think, oh, it's just soldiers. It's not.
No, it's not. No, it's all women.
No, but even the soldiers are not just soldiers here. They are
volunteer. Yeah.
Well, it's a conscription. The entire country are soldiers. Everyone is, because it's a civilian army. And like when I served, like, you got to see that when we trained with the Brits or the Americans we trained a lot with, it was a completely different army. That's a professional army. Those are people that sign up for it to do a job. Yeah. Here, it's people that literally
everyone
have to join to protect the borders from the savages that want to annihilate them.
Yeah.
And that's and you'll see that when you talk to everybody. Like even when you see soldiers, it's just that just happens to be an 18-year-old, 19-year-old Israeli.
Yeah.
It's not. You can't look at it the same way, because it's not. It's just like if in Britain you were conscription.
Yeah,
at that age, everyone would have been a soldier.
Everyone,
so then
every one of our sons, everyone.
And that's the excuse the jihadis give, or the leftists overseas give.
They were soldiers.
So they were soldiers. It's like, well, then everybody's fair game.
Yeah. Everyone's a soldier. Yeah. Okay.
If you think it's important for the world to see what Tommy's really doing in Israel, make sure to like, comment and share, because I guarantee you the BBC, Sky News and the rest of the fake news will lie about his trip here, and even those on the extreme right will try to tell you that it's something that it's not. So it's up to you guys to share the truth. And then if you support our mission on the ground here to show the world what Tommy's really doing here, TommyInIsrael.com. That's where you can catch up on all our videos, reports, lives. Everything will be placed there, TommyInIsrael.com. And if you support it, please consider chipping in to help us cover the cost, because we are self-funded. No matter what they say, we're not getting paid for each post. And I'm glad that we're doing this ourselves via the viewers, because no one, not even the Israeli government, can tell us how to present this story. We're here to show you the truth. TommyInIsrael.com. We cannot do it without you.